What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I want to talk about how my savings account, which I'm only using for the short term, just gave me another pay raise, and how my idea of what I may or may not be saving up for is becoming a little bit more clear. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos. Subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for bonus videos. Get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. Try out some G Fuel energy formula, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. And of course, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account. You can deposit as little as you'd like. It still works, it still counts. You still get your up to 12 free fractional shares. And every month they have a new promo going on that gets you even more free shares, or sometimes free cash to invest however you'd like. I don't know what the July promo is going to be because I'm unfortunately filming this video in June, but the promo is now. And get your up to 12 free fractional shares just by downloading the app and funding your account. Webull link in the description. Everything is linked in the description. All right, so let's talk about savings accounts. First things first, I want to address that I just posted a savings account video a couple of weeks ago. And the reason I did so was because a couple weeks ago, I had gotten another savings account interest income pay raise. Now, funny enough, I'll make this quick because I explained it in that video. When I opened up the savings account, I believe the interest was 3% APY. And I thought that that was pretty solid. And I wanted to keep money in a savings account because, number one, I was saving up for a purchase. I was planning on buying a cargo van, and I was planning on doing a couple of different things. And I needed to have currency sitting in an account so that I could make the purchase. And also, I had a phone call conversation with somebody who was helping me set up my 401k, and he wanted there to be X amount of dollars in a savings account prior to me becoming eligible to start making contributions because, like, oh, you should have, well, but whatever, doesn't matter. Long story short, I opened it up, 3% APY. I thought it was pretty solid. Couple weeks gone by, and I got bumped up to 3.25% APY. I was like, hey, look at that, an interest income pay raise, not bad. All right. Then they bumped it up to 3.3, then 3.4, 3.5, and then 3.9. And that right there is when I wanted to make a video. A couple weeks ago, I wanted to make a video talking about the interest income pay raise. Went up from 3% to 3.9% in a very short period of time. I just opened up the savings account earlier this year, and it rose me up from 3 to 3.9. I thought that was pretty cool, so I wanted to make a video about it. As soon as I walked out the door to come here to film that video, I checked my savings account information because I wanted to take a screenshot of the 3.9%, and I realized now it was 4%. So that's why I made that video a couple weeks ago. Today I'm making a different video, and that's because I'm no longer getting 4% APY. Now, I know this isn't going to sound like too big of a jump, but I just checked a couple of days ago, and I am now getting 4.1% APY. So technically, it is an interest income pay raise, which is pretty cool. I don't believe in savings accounts for the long term. This is something I'm just utilizing for the time being while I'm saving up for something. But technically, I just got an interest income pay raise again, which is awesome. And I'm going to tell you about what I think savings accounts are best for. I'm not a believer in them long term for obvious reasons. I don't think that a savings account or the interest that it generates, or really saving in general, saving currency, is really the best move. I do have a screenshot here that I want to show you very quick, because in the last video that I made about this, I showed how it was 4%. I blocked off the unimportant details because it doesn't matter how much I have saved up right now, and it doesn't matter how much interest I'm generating, but look at that. Current APY 4.1%. Many of you might not be thinking that's anything substantial, and it's definitely not, but it is pretty strong for a savings account. The bank will remain nameless. If you look up savings accounts with 4.1 APY, this is one of the bigger, more popular banks out there, so it's very easy to figure it out. I just don't want to, be like, oh yeah, hey, put your money in this bank, give your money to this bank. I don't want to, promote a bank necessarily. But anyway, on to the more important part of this video, which, by the way, as always, my video isn't really something to watch, it's more so something to listen to, so tune in like it's a radio show or a podcast or something like that. Go and carry about whatever it is that you're doing right now and just listen to this in the background. That's what my videos are supposed to really be used for. Multitasking. Absorbing information while being productive, instead of just sitting there staring at a screen. All right, so savings accounts. Do I believe in them long term? No, I absolutely do not. Do I think that this particular savings account will always be offering me a high yield? No, I do not. I believe rates will eventually get slashed, because they always do, and I will get an interest income pay cut at some point in the future. Do I care about that? No, I do not. But I want to utilize it while rates are high so that I can earn some currency off of the currency that I have sitting in there. Now, generally speaking, this doesn't make sense, because normally banks don't offer you 4%, 3%, 4.1 or anything like that. They offer you like 1% or oftentimes even less, 0.01% at a lot of banks. And average inflation, normal inflation, is between 2 and 2.5%. So by keeping your currency in a savings account with normal interest rates of 1% or less, during times of normal inflation, 2 to 2.5%, you're losing every single time. There is no possible way to beat inflation in a savings account when times are normal. Times are not normal right now. Inflation's on the decline, and rates are significantly higher. Rates have been hiked up a lot over the last couple of months, especially really this whole year so far, to combat high inflation. Now inflation's coming down and rates are high. Now's the time to make the most of high rates and capitalize on an opportunity while the opportunity exists. That's what I believe. And not only that, I was saving up for a purchase. Going out and buying a cargo van is not exactly a cheap thing to do. It's not exactly inexpensive to go and just buy a vehicle like that. I apologize for the wind. When I get over there, it'll idle down. But I do believe savings accounts have their uses. I do believe if you're going to use a savings account, it should be, it's right there in the name, a savings account. Do I think you should be putting currency in there and saving it forever? No, absolutely not. Do I think that it makes sense to utilize a savings account to save up for something? Yes, I absolutely do. Why not generate 4.1% interest or even 3% like it was when I first opened up? Why not generate a little bit of interest income on the money that you're saving up to make a larger purchase? Maybe you're saving up for a down payment on a house. Maybe you're saving up to upgrade your car or to get a cargo van, which is what I was going to do. Or maybe you're saving up for an investment of some sort. Or maybe you're just saving and trying to rake in interest income while rates are high, and you're just going with the flow until rates get cut, and then when rates are low, it'll be a whole lot cheaper to borrow money. So you take the money that you were saving when rates were high and making the most of high rates, then you take it all out and invest it and borrow money when rates are low and make the most of low rates. Do I think that makes sense? Do I think that you could, make and save a lot of money at the same time by playing that game? Yes, I absolutely do. But It really comes down to saving up for a purchase or saving up for an investment. I do not believe in saving long term. I believe in saving up for something that you really need, something that you really want, or something that'll save you money, sure. Or saving up for an investment, something that will make you even more money. That's what I believe savings accounts should be for. I think that they should be viewed as something short term, not for the long run. I think there are far better ways of saving money and preserving wealth long term. But in the last video that I had made, talking about the interest income pay raise going from 3% to 3.9% and then being surprised by seeing it at 4%, in that video that I posted a couple weeks ago, I talked about how right now I am, yes, making the most of high rates while I'm still trying to figure out what exactly it is that I want to do with the currency. I don't know where I want to put it just yet. I do have a really strong idea of where I would ideally like to put it today, but I know that new opportunities are going to present themselves later this year and early next year. And I want to make the most of the high yield savings account while rates are high. So I'm going to do one of two things. I'm either going to continue saving up until the opportunities present themselves, and or, here's the second thing that I'll do, pull all the currency out if rates get slashed before the opportunities present themselves, and then I will do what I believe is right. But in the video that I had posted a couple weeks ago, I listed off a couple of different things that I like to do with my currency. I've never been one to spend foolishly. And once I started to learn more about the world of money and financial news and everything that goes along with it, the GDP reports, earnings reports, inflation reports, and just understanding the world of money a little bit better than when I was obviously a child. Yeah, I remember as a child, I was like, hey, if everybody's so poor, why can't they just make more money? they print it anyway, just print more of it. I thought I solved poverty. I was like, hey, got unlimited money printers. It's made out of paper. Just print more of it. There we go. Problem solved. I thought that was economy 101 when I was 7. But anyway, when I started to learn more about the world of money, I learned the importance of saving in a smarter way. And I believed at the time, and for the most part, I still believe it to be true today, I think savings accounts are kind of foolish, unless, of course, you can utilize a high-yield savings account at this time. If it's for the short term, I see nothing wrong with that. And no harm is being done. Especially when you're saving up for something specific, or if you're still trying to figure out what you're saving up for. You know that you want to invest it, you're just waiting for the right opportunity. And right now, that's what I'm doing. And in the video that I posted a couple weeks ago, I had mentioned that at this time, I have zero idea what exactly it is that I want to do. And I had mentioned that I have a couple of different ways of investing. I have a couple of different tactics and strategies that I use in terms of my own financial well-being. And I had mentioned in that video that I have a tax-advantaged Roth IRA as well as a not tax-advantaged, simple, regular, everyday investing account. I actually have 2 of those. And one of the 2 is on my preferred app, which I mentioned before, Webull. If you download the app and fund your account, they're going to give you up to 12 free fractional shares just for doing so. You can deposit as little as you want, even as little as a penny. Still works, still counts. You still get your up to 12 free fractional shares, so make sure you do that. They have a new promo going on for the month of July. Don't know what it is because I'm filming this in June, but every month they have something awesome going on, so make the most of that. Link in the description. I had mentioned that I had the Roth IRA. I had mentioned that I have this regular investing account, and I had mentioned that I have all the silver and gold that I stacked up over the years, and, you know, running a business and you know, working a full-time job, bare minimum 48 hours a week, sometimes 52, sometimes in really tough weeks, you know, closer to 60. I had mentioned all these things, but one thing that I had forgot to mention in that video that I had jotted down on my phone to make a video about, I can't believe it slipped my mind. It was an hour-long video and I forgot to even mention it. I also have a CD account, and the maturity date is February of 2024. So early next year is the maturity date, and this is my first CD account, and the rookie mistake that I had made was I didn't put as much money in as I should have because I was under the impression that I could keep adding more to it. I didn't realize that you can't add more. I thought it was just kind of locked in place and that you couldn't take it out without a penalty for like a fixed rate. I got, you know, 5% APY on that. It was an 11-month term at 5% locked in. I knew that I couldn't take it out without a penalty. I thought I could put more in. So I didn't put as much in as I should have at 5%. You know, I'm kind of kicking myself for that now. But with the maturity date being February of next year, which isn't all that far away. What is that, like 6 months away or something like that? 6, 7, 8 months away? I don't even know at this point. At the time that it matures, you can do two different things. You can take your cash out plus the interest income that it generated, or you can roll it on into a new CD with a new term and a new APY, and you can add more to it at that time. That's when you can add more. That's what my rookie mistake was. I thought I could add more whenever I felt like it. So maybe, just maybe, I'll continue saving up for the rest of the year, assuming that rates don't get slashed beforehand. If they do, then I will pull the currency out and invest it the way that I would ordinarily invest it. But assuming rates don't get slashed by then, and assuming I'm still generating somewhere between 3 and 4.1%, maybe even more, although I'm not expecting it to go higher. It could. That'd be cool, but I'm not banking on that. No pun intended. Maybe, just maybe, I will continue saving, making weekly contributions to this savings account as I've been doing every single week since I opened it up several months ago. Keep on saving up. Keep on generating that interest income, which even if they don't raise the interest rate on my savings account, I'm still making more and more and more every single month because I keep adding more to it. So the snowball effect, the compound effect, it's doing its thing on my savings account. Now, I don't have $1 million in there. It's not like I'm earning, you know, crazy amounts of interest income. But at 4.1%, if you stick $1,000 in there, that's $41 broken up over the course of a year. And every month when they give you your interest income payment, it just means that you're going to be making even more the following month, assuming that rates don't move. Because that's just how the compound effect works. But maybe, just maybe, I'll keep saving up. We move into the new year. Right now, I don't know what my tax bill is going to look like, so it's good to have a little bit of currency set aside anyway. And if I play my cards right, if rates are still high by the time my CD account matures, maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to roll over into a new CD account with a very similar high yield. Right now, you can't really get 5%. The closest you can get to it is 4.75, which is still, as far as I'm concerned, rock star status for a CD account. and I just remove the money from my savings account and put it in a CD and lock it in there for maybe, I don't know, 12 to 18 months and generate 4.5, 4.75, or hopefully somewhere around there. Maybe that's what I will do. That way I can lock the money in at a fixed rate, a fixed high yield, when rates are bound to get slashed in the near future. If rates are still high at that point, then that sounds like a pretty good idea. And then I will have 12 to 18 months to think about what I want to do when that CD account matures. Do I want to roll it over into a third? Or will there be another opportunity presenting itself? Time will tell. But that's just an idea. I'm not saying that that's what I'm going to do. It just sounds like a good idea at the moment. If you can play the game and utilize high rates to the best of your ability while rates are high, and then utilize to save money and earn interest income, and then when rates get cut, when rates get slashed, when rates go down, you can utilize low rates to borrow money for cheap, which saves you more money long term. So it's all about, like, there's a game to be played. Most people don't know how to play it. Most people don't even know that there is a game to be played. But if you play your cards right, you can earn money during the high rate times, and you can save money during and make money off of an investment like a business loan, for example, during low rate times. So, point being is that there are so many different ways to go. Let me get past here. It's windy. It's always windy over here. Point being is that I still don't know, and it's only been a couple of weeks since I made the last savings account video, but I still don't know exactly what it is that I want to do with the currency that I have in a savings account. It's not a ridiculous amount of currency, by the way. It's not like I'm sitting on like $20,000, and it's not like there's a great deal of currency at stake here. It's just currency that I wouldn't ordinarily leave in a savings account. The only reason I'm doing it right now is because I'm getting a high yield, and I have a CD account with an even higher yield that matures in less than a year. Now, between then and now, a million different things can happen. Maybe rates will go up more, maybe they'll get slashed, maybe they'll stay roughly where they're at for a little while. There's so many different things that could happen, and not even just when it comes to rates. An opportunity could present itself to me, and maybe I will pull the currency out of the savings account early and use it for that instead. Maybe toward the end of the year, if for whatever reason I think, hey, now's a good time to buy that 1 ounce gold buffalo that I've been wanting for 5 years. I don't believe there's no way that's going to happen. I don't think now's the time to do that. But if I decide November, December, before the year's up, hey, that's a good thing that I can do for the YouTube channel, then maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll use it for this. Maybe I'll use it for that. There are so many different ways you can go. But right now, I still don't know exactly what it is that I'm saving up for. I am just kind of riding the high yield wave at the moment, while I still try to figure out the best move, the next move to make. But since I posted the last video, I have a little bit clearer of an idea of what I think would make the most sense. And right now I'm kind of leaning towards taking all, or at least most, of what I have in the savings account and using it while I roll over into a new CD account. And by the way, when my CD account matures, at that time, I might even decide to not roll over into a new. I might just, take my currency back plus the interest income and use that to put it elsewhere. There's so many different things could happen. And as the great Chael Sonnen always says, I reserve the right to change my opinion if confronted with new information. So a lot can happen between then and now. A lot can change, including my mind, including my opinion. But right now, that seems to make the most sense. And it's funny, this is my second savings account ever. The first one was closed due to inactivity and not keeping any currency in there because I saw no purpose in saving currency with an interest rate of like 0.01% or something. I was like, what's that going to do? What is that going to do? I even made a video a couple months ago talking about... Now, I don't encourage anybody to invest in any particular bank's stock. They're volatile, and if you don't care about volatility, you're just utilizing them for passive income. I don't think it's good because banks are notorious for cutting their dividend yield or cutting their dividend during rocky times. They're a little too inconsistent. I think broad market index funds are definitely the best way to go. But I remember making a video talking about the difference between investing in a very specific bank's stock and utilizing that same exact bank's savings account. And I talked about how investors win. I talked about how the savers lose. Now, like I said, I don't think investing in a bank stock or really investing in individual stocks are necessarily the best way to go. Broad market index funds make far more sense to me, which you can do on Webull. Download the app and fund your account. They're going to give you up to 12 free fractional shares just for doing so. Link in the description. Time is running out. They have a brand new promo going on right now for the month of July. Please make the most of it. Don't pass up on an opportunity. Link in the description. But the video that I made, I don't even remember when I made it, maybe even like a year ago, where I compared the dividend yield of investing in the stock versus the interest income or the interest rate that same exact bank offered for savings accounts. Now, the savings account was like less than 1%, and the dividend yield, I believe, was 2.75%. So I said, if you invest $100 into the stock and you put $100 into that same bank savings account and you wait a year, you're probably going to make $2.75 worth of passive income off of the stock, not factoring in the fact that it could also go up in value. So you might even see some on-paper capital gains versus not even earning $1, not even earning 10 cents worth of passive income through the interest income. So that video wasn't necessarily to take aim at the bank and say that savings accounts are horrible and that you should invest in this bank or you should invest in stock. That's not what it was necessarily about. It was more so to paint the bigger picture so that you can see what I was truly talking about, which is saving long term. You're going to lose. Investors come out on top. People that go after passive income, go after building wealth. That's what it's about. That right there is the secret. That right there is the trick. No magical thing happens. It takes hard work, dedication, consistency, and you gotta work your face off and fight like hell to make it happen, but it's absolutely worth it. The tax code was written for investors, business owners, and landlords. Coincidentally, you know who the tax code was written by? Not just for, written by investors, business owners, and landlords. There's no secret. You're allowed to do it. You're encouraged to do it. You are rewarded for being an investor. And I'm not just talking about capital gains. I'm not just talking about interest income or passive income, I'm not talking about just that. I'm talking about when it comes to taxes as well. You are taxed at a lower rate for earning passive income. If you make $50,000 a year at your job and your next door neighbor doesn't have a job, but he's earning $50,000 a year in dividend income, let's just say, you will be paying more in taxes than him. You're making the same amount of money, but you take home less. Funny how that works, isn't it? One could make the case, one could make the argument that we are punished for working our faces off. We're punished for working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And we're punished for saving money, which is what we were taught to do at a young age. Oh, work hard, work your entire life away, and save every penny. That's what we were taught. And on paper, it sounds like a good idea, but when you see the bigger picture, you realize you're penalized for doing that. You're taxed at a higher rate. You take home less money. You don't generate really anything at all off of the savings accounts during normal times, not during high yield times. And you lose the battle to inflation. We're taught to play it safe, but playing it safe puts us in danger. Funny how that works. All because they like to say, oh, investing is too risky. Yeah, it's too risky not to do. It's more dangerous to not invest. Yes, there is risk when investing. Yes, there is risk when starting a business. Yes, there is risk in stepping out of line with what everybody else is doing. Yes, it comes with risk. But do you have any idea how risky it is to play it safe? Funny how that works, isn't it? That's what that one video was about. It was about how people who do things the normal way and people who save end up losing. And I'm mentioning this in a video dedicated to savings accounts. For what I said before, I am not using a savings account long term. I just opened it up less than a year ago, and I do not believe I will have a single dollar in there a year from now. I'm either going to do most likely one of two things with it. I'm either going to use it to roll over into my next CD account, or I'm just going to pull it all out and invest it in probably index funds. Because if rates get slashed, it wouldn't make sense to keep it in a savings account to begin with. And when rates get slashed, people are going to get scared in the stock market, which means the market's going to go down, and I'm going to be able to buy the dip with 6 months or 12 months worth of saved up currency. It's riskier to save long term. It's dangerous to save long term. Savings accounts are not what normal people think that they are. They are not designed to help. For every dollar you put in a savings account, I'm pretty sure the bank is able to lend out 10 times that. So for every dollar you put in there, they can, loan someone $10. I don't know how that works. It sounds like something that'll collapse at some point in the future eventually. It doesn't sound sustainable, even though it's been sustainable for a long time, but it's like a house of cards, it kind of seems like. But the point being is that if you want to play the game and capitalize on high yields, when rates are high, you can make a fairly decent amount of interest income, which is passive income, by the way. It is passive income, and it's one of the 7 most popular forms of income for the average millionaire. And I am not a millionaire, and if you're watching this video, I would be surprised. Well, maybe you're a millionaire. I don't know. But the average viewer of mine is not a millionaire either. The average viewer of mine is an average Joe, a blue-collar, working-class average Joe who's just trying to stay afloat and look out for their families. That's the average viewer of mine. Do I have viewers that are in the like lower class, really struggling? Do I have viewers in upper middle class, or multimillionaire status? I'm sure that I do. I'm talking about the average viewer, the majority of the people that watch my videos. You can capitalize on a high yield savings account or a high yield CD account when rates are high. Rates will not be high forever, but you can capitalize on them and make the most of them and maximize passive income, or maximize what you're getting out of them during times like these. And these times will come to an end. Rates will get slashed eventually, and when that happens, you can take your currency and the currency that it generated and make the most of the next opportunity. You can invest. Now that you can no longer make the most of high yields, now might be the time to invest. And not only that, now might be the time to borrow money, to take out a loan, a business loan or a personal loan, because rates are low. You're not going to be paying much in interest. You might not be paying much at all in interest, and it could propel you forward. Sure, you might be paying a little bit in interest, which nobody loves doing, but you could be making 10 times more than if you were to do it yourself without a loan. It's just about leverage. Leveraging other people's money when rates are low and profiting off of it. And I know I'm making it sound, easy. It's not easy, but it's a relatively simple concept. Easier said than done, for sure. I'm figuring out a lot of things as I'm going as well. I'm no expert. I'm no professional at this. But as time goes by, I learn more and more. As I try out different things, I gain experience in these different methods. And then I come out here to the woods and I hit record and I talk about how my experience has been so far. And when it comes to savings accounts, which is what this video is all about, my experience with a savings account has been good over the last couple of months. Will I have it long term? Absolutely not. I'm just still trying to figure out exactly what it is that I want to do with my savings account. And like I was saying before, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. And one of the most popular forms of their 7 streams of income would be interest income. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean a savings account. It's usually referring to a CD account, which is a form of a savings account. You lock in a certain amount of money for a certain amount of time at a fixed, very specific, certain APY that does not change. If rates go up while your CD account is rocking and rolling, you still have the rate that you agreed on. If rates go down, you still have the rate that you agreed on. For me, it's 5%. 11-month term, which is also unusual. Usually it's 12 to 18 months at the bare minimum. And some people lock it in for 2 years or 4 years or 6 years. If they believe we're going to be going through several years where the economy is in a place where rates are going to be on the lower end, and then they'll lock up a certain amount of currency in a higher yield CD account and generate a guaranteed APY for those 2, 4, 6, or however many years. That's what the average millionaire does to generate interest income, one of the 7 forms of income that the average millionaire has. 7 streams of income. One of the 7 is usually interest income, and it's typically in reference to a CD account, not necessarily a savings account, because a savings account is not designed to build wealth or really make any amount of money at all. Less than 1%. No, thank you. So anyway, coming around full circle here, in conclusion, savings accounts are definitely not for the long run. Usually they're not even for the short run. But when rates are high, you can capitalize on it, make some money off of that high yield interest income. And if you're saving up for something in particular and you need the currency to be in an account so that you could make the purchase, such as a down payment on a house, or if you're saving up for a car, or if you're saving up to start a business, or you're saving up for an investment, sure, I see absolutely nothing wrong with a savings account for the short term, even if rates aren't very enticing. Savings accounts are just to save up for something. Even better to save up for something when rates are high, which is where they are right now. But again, this video isn't to encourage people to put their currency in a savings account. It's not something that I necessarily agree with. I think you'd be a far better off investing the currency instead. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, what are your thoughts on everything related to savings accounts? What are your thoughts on interest income? Do you have a savings account? And if so, why do you have a savings account? Do you believe in savings accounts long term? Are you using it just as a place to keep emergency cash? Are you playing the high yield game right now, or are you just riding the high yield wave, kind of like what I'm doing, while I'm still trying to figure out what exactly it is that I want to do, or how exactly it is that I want to invest that currency? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive bonus content. Get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. Get yourself some tree fuel, G Fuel, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. They have over 50 different flavors to choose from. This one's called Miami Nights. It's like a pina colada flavor. It's perfect for the summer. It's my favorite flavor of G Fuel that I have ever tried before. Sugar-free, low-calorie, packed with a whole bunch of vitamins. $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. And of course, last but certainly not least, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account. You can deposit as little as you'd like, even if it's as little as a penny. It still works. It still counts. You still get your up to 12 free fractional shares. And every single month they have a promo going on. Usually it's if you refer 1 to maybe 3 friends to the app, they're going to give you free bonus stocks, usually free Apple stock for doing so. And sometimes they'll give you free cash to invest however you'd like to invest. That way you can buy Apple stock if you want to, or you could buy another stock if you want to, or you could do what I do and put it into index funds if that's what you want to. It's your cash to do whatever you want with. Don't know what the promo for July is going to be because I'm filming this in June, but every month they have something awesome going on, so don't pass up on an opportunity. Webull link in the description. Everything is linked in the description. And once again, if you can head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Savings accounts. Have you ever had a savings account? What was your experience like? Do you currently have a savings account? And if so, why? What are you saving up for, if you're saving up for anything at all? Maybe you're just using it as a place to store your emergency cash. Maybe you're using it to ride the high yield wave like I'm doing right now. Maybe you don't know exactly what you're saving up for, but you want to save up so that when an opportunity presents itself, you can hop on it. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.